I need something to replace this piece right here. I need to make some sort of a pantry, some sort of a cabinet, something that can hold my dishes, my glasses, bowls, things of that nature, because this just does not work with my kitchen design. Now, I'd like to incorporate this antique plate rack somewhere in the new kitchen renovation design. So that's the plan there. This piece, maybe it'll go someplace in my house. Maybe I'll sell it. I'm not sure. But what I do have is two antique dressers that I bought at an antique store that are downstairs in the basement. And I'm hoping that one of them is going to fit here because it's absolutely gorgeous and exactly what I would want in this spot. Next size. 36 by 17. It's 38 inches. The depth's exactly what I want though. Can I make 38 inches work? How big's this one? Ah, even bigger. That one's 40. All right, let me show you this dresser, and then I'm gonna remeasure to see if I can, because I mean it can get back into the light. I'm sorry. It can go over a little bit on the dining room. It would my OCD bother me with that? I'm not sure. I need to measure it out, put a piece of tape there and see exactly what this would do. But let me show you the beauty that is this dresser. It's not a beauty right now, but boy does it have potential. There we go. All right. Now, look at the detail on these drawers. This piece is gorgeous. It has the original locking hardware. All of the pulls are in place. They just really need to be cleaned up. And it has this gorgeous detail to it. I don't know, guys. I am really thinking this could work. Thanks, Mom. Oh, that'll totally work. Yes. Yes, thank you. Oh, it's gonna fit. Yes. Yes. All right, so that is totally going to fit there. Now I am gonna have to design how I want the top to be. If I'm going to keep all the drawers, am I gonna take one row of the drawers out and maybe use baskets or something there? I'm gonna have to get to the drawing table on this. But I have one other thing I want to share with you guys that I want to incorporate into this kitchen somewhere, somehow. Maybe even there, I don't know. That could be the top piece to this. That could be my baking section. Ooh. Ooh. All right, let's go out to the shop so I can show you this one more piece that I want to incorporate. The piece I want to share with you guys is this antique jelly cabinet that I got for $20, and it is like 100 and something years old. It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. I am in love. I am so in love with this cabinet, and this has to get worked into that kitchen. And I'm thinking this might actually be a nice piece on top of that one, like I said. And then I could use the table that is in the spot I'm replacing, and that could be a coffee bar. Or I could get rid of that altogether, and this could be my coffee bar. But this jelly cabinet absolutely has to get in there. So it's like 23 and a quarter. 8.5 deep, 36.5 high. Oh yeah, this is gonna become part of that.
There's no one like you, my little girl. Your eyes so blue under those brown curls. Soon you're on your way. Promise me that you know the world is yours. Strike them with your glow. Go on now, be good, be fine. Live your life, dream big, don't forget to be kind. Live, it's your life. Rocks are meant to be picked up and thrown. New ideas can be pleasantly overgrown. But you know where to go if you follow that heart. One step at a time, we all play our part. Go out now, be good, be fine. Live your life, dream big, don't forget to be kind. Live, it's your life. Go on now, chase your dreams, everything. Go on now, be good.
And the finish is ruined. The finish, there's no saving this. I'm a little bit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping to keep it original, but there's just too much on it. There's pen writing, there's marker, there's paint, there's gouges. So the piece is gonna have to get painted. I have to figure this out though so that it can tie into that piece that's not getting painted. So, all right, let me get some cleaning stuff together, get these cleaned out, and I want to get them in the sunshine. It's cold out today, but it's very, very sunny, and I just need the sunshine and some vinegar. I have a spray bottle with some of my homemade fermented vinegar in it that I diluted with a little bit of water, and I am going to saturate the inside and the outside of the drawers and of the cabinet body itself. This does have a very musty smell to it, and I want to get rid of it. Vinegar and water is one way. Also, leaving it in the sunshine and in the fresh, crisp air will also help air it out. It's not super strong, it's not really bad, so I'm hoping this is exactly what it just needs to get done. And then I will sand the inside of the drawers and we will proceed to sand the entire piece. I want to stress that if I was actually going to keep the original finish on these drawers and on this cabinet, I would not be using this vinegar and water solution. The vinegar can have a reaction with the finish. It can cause discoloration. It can actually ruin it. So if you're working with a very old piece that you want to keep original, vinegar and water is not the way to go. Instead of using harsh chemicals to clean up this antique hardware, I'm going to actually try a technique I've never tried before to see how it works. I'm going to boil it in some water with some vinegar for about 20 minutes. Then when that's done, I'm going to just turn it off and let it sit there until it's cool enough to handle. And then you take some steel wool, not too rough, and you go over it. And it's supposed to clean it up really good because these pieces are gorgeous. But they are very dirty, and I don't want them to look too new. I want them to still have character and age to them, but just in a prettier way. I mean, it is pretty dirty. So let's see what we can do with this new technique.
Be fine. Live your life.
Okay, I am absolutely blown away with the results from this technique. No harsh chemicals. Look at how clean and beautiful these are coming. I uh, there's detail on the pull? I didn't even know there was detail on the pull. That's how dirty they are. Oh my gosh, this stuff works so good, and these are beautiful. I am actually super excited I tried this. It's the right amount of clean. There's still character left. There's still patina left. They're not too new looking because that wouldn't look right, even on a painted piece. But oh, I love these. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Am I the last to this party? Have you done this technique before? Look at that. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to finish up the rest of these and let them dry. I had no idea there was detail there. I'm blown away. Beautiful.
Live your life.
The next day.
I am excited to paint this today and excited for you to see the color of my kitchen cabinetry. But first, I want to get these casters off the bottom. They do work really good, but they are in crappy condition. So I am just going to use the small pry tool and pry them straight up and out. They do come out rather easy considering how long they've been in there. And I'm going to do the same technique to these that I did to the door handles just to clean them up and put them back in. But I'm going to keep them off until the piece is done. I'm just going to use a 220 grit sandpaper and go over the piece in its entirety lightly. I'm not looking to cure any imperfections. That's all part of the character. I want to keep it there. I'm just trying to give it a clean slate for the paint to adhere to and take to and have it be a long lasting piece. So proper prep does aid in how long all of this will last and also using the right products. I noticed a crack in this drawer that didn't go all the way through yet, so I'm going to try to save it and use some of my Tite Bond glue, and I am also going to use a clamp. I'm really going to pack the glue in there. I can wipe it all off after. I want to make sure it sticks together really good and that this will last hopefully and not just break again. So I might be going overkill on the glue. I don't care. I'll wipe it off after. I'm going to give everything a good wipe down with my thread cutter. And while that's drying, I am going to tape off the locking hardware on the drawers. I don't want to get any paint on that. I want to keep it all nice and original. So I'm going to take my time and some of the low tack tape and get it on there carefully to preserve it in its original condition. Trigger warning, I am about to paint this antique piece. When I was at my local decorating center getting my paint, they also recommended I use a primer and they recommended a product called Sticks. They said that would work great with my Benjamin Moore paint. So I am actually going to get my primer on all of my pieces. Again, if you don't want to see me paint this, don't look. Turn it off now. But I have to say, you'll be missing out on a fantastic piece because, spoiler alert, does come out amazing. I do wish I could have kept this piece completely original, but after having time to actually think about the entire concept and design of the kitchen, I actually think this is the better option, and I really can't wait for you to see how amazing and custom this ends up coming out was just absolutely beyond my wildest expectations. But I have to say, I actually really like this primer too. It goes on really nice. It's almost like a self-leveling. If there's a drip or anything and you go back to wipe it, it just levels itself back out. I'm going to use a brush to get the primer on, and then I'm going to actually use a roller when it comes to the paint, which, by the way, I can't wait to show you the color because I actually think it's pretty fabulous.
Several song-filled hours later.
It's the moment of truth. What color did I get? What do you think? It's like a blue-gray kind of. I have to admit, deciding on the cabinet paint color was probably the biggest paint decision I have ever made in my life. I just couldn't narrow it down until I finally had to tell myself, just do it. It's just paint. You can always paint it again. But I didn't want to do all of this work and have to do it again. So I went back and forth between a more of a green base or more of a blue base, and I ended up going with the blue because I am going with like a French country kind of vibe, and blue is definitely part of that decor. It's more of a lighter, brighter blue, which does not appeal to me whatsoever. I like it in this form with the gray undertone. I like how it changes the blue, but in a neutral, more muted kind of way. I didn't want it boom in your face kind of blue. And I'm actually going to be doing a technique to this that I put a lot of thought into, and I decided I don't want it to just be a freshly painted piece. I want to give it back some of that character, some of that age and patina that I wasn't able to keep because of the condition the original finish was in. So I am going to do a glaze technique over this afterwards, and it's really going to make an incredible difference. But I am super loving this color. I am very happy that I chose it. There are lots of colors that can accent and go with this, so I can highlight different colors in my kitchen. I'm happy I picked this one, but I really have to say it took over 2 months to nail down a color. It's the biggest paint decision I've ever made. Scott was like, just pick something. I'm like, no, I don't want to do all this and do it again. But, whatever. It is just paint, but it ended up being really good paint. And I love the color. The original color I picked was a Sherwin-Williams color called Waterloo, but I wanted a Benjamin Moore cabinet paint, so I took it to my local decorating center and they were able to color match it, which is actually super cool. I had no idea that they just put in the numbers for Sherwin-Williams into their computer and it gives you the code to make it in all the other different brands, which I actually think is really cool for the brands to do that, make the colors interchangeable within themselves. So I'm going to continue painting this piece, get it all done, and it's going to need 2 coats. So I'm going to put the first coat on, and I was advised to let it dry 12 hours minimum in between. So I'm going to come back to this tomorrow to put the second coat on that, and then I'm going to let that also dry for a day. I just want to make sure that the finish is really good and durable and on there. And I just want to do it right. Like I paid $111 for 2 quarts of paint. I don't want to, do it haphazardly. I want to do it correctly and make it last. So what I'm going to do.
Day 3.
All right. I came back. I've got my Valspar and I'm going to go over it with it. I'm it's just it is a it's giving me anxiety is what it's doing. It's giving me anxiety to do this. But I have to just keep telling myself it's just paint. If I don't like it, I can sand it, I can repaint it the blue and go from there. Breathe. Some of y'all think I've got all the answers and I know everything I'm doing, and this is really how worked up over a project I can get. And this kitchen is no joke. I have not taken this much time to find a color as I did for the cabinets. And then I just had to jump and say, enough, pick one. And I'm glad I went with the blue, to be perfectly honest. I really was leaning to the green throughout the whole process, but I kind of am digging the blue. I am so nervous, but here goes nothing. Okay, I'm gonna pull some away. Oh, yeah. Good decision. Can see the difference And I really like that a lot. Look at that! That looks so good. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. Do you agree with the antique and glaze is better, or do you prefer it painted straight the way it was? Let me know in the comments down below which one is your favorite. When I was thinking about the medium that I wanted to use to age these cabinets, it definitely came down to a wax or a glaze. The difference between a glaze and a wax is you actually have more control with a glaze. You can make it heavier or lighter, depending upon how heavy you are with your hand applying it and removing it. Wax, you kind of put on in the same motion. You can go a little heavier than not, but it still comes off a whole lot more than glaze does. So I like having the advantage of controlling the depth of the antiquing that I want to give to a piece, and it doesn't have to be uniform and it can be different because that's how things age. Nothing ages uniform. So that's why I chose a glaze instead of a wax, and I really like the effect. You do have to work with it a little more. You do have to pull through it a little bit more. You do have to take time to step back and look at the piece as you're doing it to make sure that it is exactly how you want it. But I think it's fabulous. So I'm going to finish this piece and admire it after.
Call me out, tiger. Call me out, why don't you love? Lift me up higher above the clouds, won't you love? When the scenery is right, go right in. I wanna fall deep within. Don't leave me hanging just 'cause I'm too proud. Whisper away my outdated doubts. Somebody do me the courtesy, dress me down. I'm not that old yet, I'm far too young to not stand my ground. Well, my ways are mine and I don't wanna change, not even for love. Now take back all them hard words. I'm a grown woman with confidence and sense. In the middle, meet me in the middle. I'm a riddle, figure me out. We'll tornadoes, we'll drink morning dew, and we'll be lovers, me you. Full force tiger, call me out with them blue green eyes. You know I'm a fighter, the good kind, not running with lies.
Piece has sat and cured, and I am now down to the home stretch, and I couldn't be more excited. I cannot wait to see this whole thing in its new purpose put together with its new look. But I want to also put that hardware in now. I want to see how that cleaned up original hardware looks against the paint. I think it's going to look great. I am super happy again with that boiling technique with just a little vinegar. I love how it cleaned this up in a natural way, leaving a little bit of that character left behind. And I didn't want the hardware to look new, and it doesn't. It looks perfect. And I have to say, I actually really love contrast of the color of the hardware against the color of the cabinet. I think it super works together. So I'm going to get the pulls into the drawers. I'm going to add the drawers into the piece. I'm going to remove the tape from the locking mechanisms and step back so I can see where this is going, if my vision is in the right direction. Because all that's left to do is the insert and the top, put the casters back on, and it's ready to go in my kitchen. So the goal is to get it in there tomorrow, and I am enlisting Scott's help to make that happen. Because I'm not putting the top drawer back in, I have this big open space that I want to fill with an insert that I'm going to stain the same color as the top. So Scott has taken some measurements so he can cut the insert to the exact size, and we are just going to use some of those straight metal brackets. We're going to attach them to the underneath so that the insert sits right inside of that space perfectly and looks completely intentional and as part of the original design. I'm also going to have to paint the sides blue and give them an antiquing treatment because I have no idea why, but I didn't think about that when I was doing it. But no big deal. It's an easy step to correct. So Scott's taking the measurements. He's going to do the cut. And then I am going to use Minwax Early American Stain. I actually really like that. I think it complements the tone and the color of the jelly cabinet that's going to go above it. And it also goes with the color and tones of stains in my home. So we are really on the home stretch. I am really getting excited. I cannot wait to see this piece in there. This is like the push that I need, visual that I need to really keep me going at this great momentum that I swore I was going to have for 2024. This is my year. I am going to grab it and run with it. Another day, another sleigh. I love this design decision. This looks beautiful inside this piece. It's going to look gorgeous with the top on. What do you guys think? It looks great. I cannot wait to see this in the house. I'm getting real excited now. We are really, really at the home stretch. When I found this piece, it did not have a top. And initially, I thought I'd get a butcher block top to put on it. But that's not the look I wanted it to have. I didn't think that would actually look right with the piece. So we went with a prefab oak top that we got from the box store, and we got it bigger than what we need. So Scott is actually cutting it to size right now. And then I bought this beautiful, like, it's not a bull nose. It definitely has a little scroll to it, a detail trim that's going to go on the edging, and it actually looks gorgeous with all the details this piece has. So once this is cut, I'm going to get that early American stain on this, and then we can get the top attached to this piece, get the trim on, get the casters in, and we're done. Like, done, done, done. It's taken a week to do this whole thing, but totally worth it. And trust me, guys, just stick with me to the end. Wait till you see it. It is gorgeous. Of course, this wall would have ductwork inside of it, making it a little bit more tricky to install it on the wall. But Scott was tackling that project head on and he was marking everything with low tack tape. He knows where the top of the cabinet's going to go, where the sides will line up, and where all of the bolts will attach it securely to the wall. It does make me a little bit nervous. There's actually only one stud that goes down the middle of this wall. The other two are on the outside edges so it won't catch it. So all of the support for this cabinet has to be put down the middle and balanced out on the side. But I trust that he'll be able to do it and get it mounted up there correctly and properly. And I'm not going to hear it crash in the middle of the night. And then we enlisted the help of Ryder and Rosie's dad to hold this cabinet in place so Scott could get that first screw into the stud securely. Once he has the first one in, we can actually let go of the cabinet and adjust it with the level to make sure that it is perfectly level and straight and flat. And we are not going to level it by the outside of the cabinet because it's so old, it's not square. Definitely is a little misshapen if you really study it, but that's part of the character and what I love about it. So what we are going to do is level it by the shelves inside because that's what counts. That's where everything goes. And I don't want things rolling off the shelf and falling off the shelf. So little tip from me to you, never level an antique from the outside. It's not going to be straight and flat. Always do it from the point where it really matters. In this case, the shelves. Well, what do you think? I am loving everything about this, and I think this piece came out absolutely beautiful. Redesigning the top drawer space into open shelving and adding that stained insert elevated the custom look even further. The top was just a very basic prefabbed top from the box store, but by adding the detail of edge trim, it also elevated the form of the piece, and to be quite honest, it looks original to the piece now. The original hardware cleaned up beautifully, and I discovered brass casters under the years of dust and dirt. The fact that all the original hardware was with this piece is an amazing score and also lends to the overall value and look. I wish I could have kept the original finish, but it was too damaged. However, the cabinet color I chose with the glazing technique over it keeps the integrity of the piece. It does it complete justice. And I think this piece is very happy with its new look and its new partner piece, my bargain of the century, this jelly cabinet. I still cannot believe I got it for $20, but I really did. Aside from adding plywood backing for mounting purposes and a coat of clear wax, I did nothing to this piece. It's perfect exactly the way it is. I feel like these two pieces were meant to be together. They actually look cohesive. It exudes a sense of cozy rustic chic with its sophisticated charm and simplicity, and I love that about it. The drawers provide hidden storage for an abundance of kitchen gadgets and necessities, keeping everything neat and hidden. And I love that the vintage finish on this cabinet creates an unassuming and timeless look that I'll be able to enjoy for years to come. I actually can't wait to see all the cabinets done like this now. So let's do the breakdown of the cost for this beautiful custom ensemble. Jelly cabinet was $20. Dresser without a top was $20. Paint and stain that I used on this product, I'm going to round it out to 30. The insert for the shelf was $5.97. The new top was $6.97. One trim piece was $7 and the brackets were $3.99, bringing the total cost to about $86.93 before tax. Well under $100 for this custom piece of cabinetry. Now, I think that's a successful extreme budget makeover for this new custom high-end piece. You definitely could not buy it for that. Now, what's actually going to go in the top antique jelly cabinet, you ask? Well, I think I solved my spices dilemma, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned so you can continue to watch this extreme budget kitchen renovation because trust me, you don't want to miss any part of it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.